Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Gamer Dad channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So we are continuing our technical discussions on various aspects of this game. Today we're looking at specializations. We're looking at one specialization in particular, and I'll give you a few reasons why this specialization is actually good. Now, I got a question regarding specializations in terms of somebody asking me and saying, I want to unlock my specializations and, all of these things. Here's what I'm just going to tell you. Go ahead and unlock every specialization because the best specialization is the one that actually does work well for your build. Now, yes, specializations will obviously shine better in some particular cases, but at the end of the day, if you want to be a versatile player and use more than 2-3 builds, you're going to find yourself in a position where the different specializations will be worth trying for you to hone down exactly why. All right, today we're going to be looking at the Survivalist Specialization, and I'll give you 3 to 4 reasons why this specialization is actually used by some agents. Me in particular, I actually like this specialization, but now I'm moving more and more to the gunner for my solo runs when I'm running in the DZ or when I'm running around the open world. It appears to me that gunner really does have some things that I do like. The only reason though that gunner wants to top survivalist in my opinion is because gunner fits more for the solo, but when it comes to a group, the survivalist specialization is one of the better specializations out there for group play, believe it or not. So, a few reasons why this is actually pretty cool. You get, if you're playing in a group where you're dealing with elites, you have 10% increased protection from elites. This makes you a little tankier. One of our YouTubers in this community, Mark of Blades, he makes protection from elite builds that really make you just kind of stroll around them and dance. And this is one of the things that, you have to pay attention to because protection from elites is a stat that you can get in mods. And so this is something that is really nice because once you can get those protection from elite mods going and you're able to stack up enough, then that extra 10% really does give you an increased tankiness against them. Another thing too, that would depend on your play style, by the way. You might not want to do that, but that's your choice. But just understand that it's actually there. And for me, I play a lot of legendary missions, and we know when we're going to be encountering some elite heavies. So it's nice for me to have this when my group is with me. It gives me a little bit more protection. Doesn't seem like a big deal, but I'm telling you, it could be the difference between that stinger melting you and maybe having you leave, have one more bar left to res somebody else while you guys are in a pinch. Another reason this specialization is actually pretty cool for group play is because of its distributed repair talent. This particular talent gives your armor kit it applies to your group members within 20 meters of you. So your armor kits don't repair instantly. Instead, they repair over 5 seconds, which is kind of a drawback. But everyone around you basically gets that's 20 meters around you pretty much gets they get the effect of your armor kit, so they get the healing. I remember one legendary run we were playing, and I didn't even pay attention to this. We were in one of the challenges when I'm playing with a lot of group members is I do random matchmaking. So we're sitting in that little cafeteria. I think it's like the 4th encounter in the District Union Arena, and we're all huddled together in cover, and we got pummeled by this one grenade from this weird mech bot thing. And I'm just freaking out because everyone's health that's huddled up with me is low. And so I just quickly applied my med kit, and all of a sudden our healer wasn't necessarily, we didn't even have a healer. I don't even know if we did. All of a sudden everybody just got, their armor back, and somebody just quickly messaged and said, "Nice armor kit." And I was like, "Oh, I'm wearing Survivalist." So that just basically healed everybody. So it's nice for that to happen in the middle of, gameplay. Another really cool thing, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, is the Incendiary Grenade, which applies burn to targets within the radius. Now, this is very strong. If you're running a status effect build, and one of the really interesting things about status effect builds are, you can choose to use Technician or you could use Survivalist. I prefer using Survivalist because this gives me an extra way to implement status effects. And if you're playing and running missions, or if you're playing and running control points, one of the best things this grenade would do for you, even though it doesn't instantly kill enemy NPCs, is you can use it at the door of spawn points. That's what it's best for: spawn camping or crowd control, or at least, pushing an enemy NPC away from their current position. If you have an NPC that's probably maybe suppressing your team, or maybe, keeping you guys in cover, keeping another person in your team in cover, this grenade will cause them, like any other grenade anyways, will cause them to scatter. If you get the burn effect, it pretty much dilapidates them for at least a few seconds. And that's one of the best parts of it. And like I said, when you're spawn camping with it, you toss that grenade at a spawn point or at a door they're going to come out from. Every single one of them is on status effect, which then makes it even better with this other talent that, that comes with the Survivalist Tactical link. It says group members get 10% bonus damage to targets with status effects. So this is a status effect. You can use status effects underneath your skills, which is actually pretty good. And so when I'm running some of my status effect builds, I'll run the Jammer Pulse if we're playing against the Black Tusk, which is also nice because when you jam a lot of those Warhounds and a lot of the different mechs and whatever, they are now getting extra 10% damage from your group members. So these little things, they add up in a strategic way as you're playing with this specialization, depending on the kind of build you're using as well. So that's another thing. Some people may use assault rifle builds or whatever, but I run this with a skill build, which is kind of crazy. And then I spoke about this later a while ago. Scraping by says you gain 5 ammo per second for your current weapon while performing a cover-to-cover in combat. This maneuver seems unnecessary in some cases, but I found myself in open world context where I'm playing heroic open world. You know how heroic open world is. In most cases, I just put my open world on hard, but when I'm in open world heroic, a lot of the enemy NPCs continue to just spawn. Maybe you take one patrol, then there's a freaking territory control around, and then there's another patrol or 2 factions are fighting, and you're in the middle of that, and you could be running out of ammo. So this is nice. As you're moving from cover to cover, you start to gain ammo for your weapon if that's something that you're actually doing or working with. And then finally, which something you may not necessarily, I don't know if anyone is going to be compelled by this because this is kind of hard, is the crossbow itself. The specialization, the crossbow allows for you to be able to not only deal damage, but also be able to apply a burn effect as well and a bleed effect if you basically drop it very well. Now, yes, granted, this is a challenging specialization weapon to use compared to a lot of the others because you not only have to be very particular about how you aim, you really have to be someone who's willing to think strategically about it because all of your shots will do better if you plant them, say in a radius, which is where you're going to get the effect from, or if you shoot it into a heavy. It really deals a lot of damage to heavies. It will basically hit their armor, and it will sometimes just go ahead and crack it after 1 or 2 shots, depending on the heavy. If it's a heavy in legendary missions, it takes a few shots. If it's a heavy in like a heroic mission, you don't need to do too much. And if you're spec'd right, where your weapon damage is actually high, you're really going to benefit from this because this is, obviously it's a specialization weapon. So weapon damage does affect it. But anyways, these are some of my, preferences in regard to the Survivalist Specialization. And whenever you see a player using this, understand that these are some of the things that they want to gain from running this specialization. Thanks so much for watching. Veterans, like I said in the comment section, do your thing, and we'll talk in another video. Appreciate you guys so much. Peace out.